This is going to be a good one. Let's talk about tax deductions that you can claim as a 1099 individual, whether that's contract work, and we're going to go over multiple scenarios in alphabetical order. So make sure that you stay tuned all the way to the end so that way you don't leave money on the table. The name of the game is legally get as many tax deductions as possible so you can minimize your tax liability and maximize your tax refund. Or for those who are accustomed to owing, tax deductions is the saving grace. So that being said, self-employment tax deduction calculator, we're going to dive in and show you exactly what you need. Get your screenshots ready, pen and pad handy, share it with somebody who you feel may benefit. Let's get this video up to 100 likes, if at all possible. That being said, let's explore tailored tax write-offs with our self-employed tax deduction calculator. And this came directly from TurboTax. I loved it when I saw it because we've been teaching and telling people this for years. Ideal for contractors or content creators, and it covers more than 30 industries and brings you one step closer to understanding self-employment tax deductions. And a lot of people sleep on self-employment tax deduction. I know they're talking about the S corps, the LLCs, but self-employment and you being a sole proprietor has several benefits as well. Select your business niche to discover your potential deductions and ensure that as a 1099 independent contractor or freelancer, you maximize your write-offs and leave no money unclaimed, or money on the table as I like to call it. This is a great tool to help you save on taxes and with a personalized approach to self-employed business expenses. So what expenses can I deduct or write off as a 1099 contractor or freelancer, which is the question that many people often ask. So here's an interactive expense deduction calculator that can help you find tax write-offs, even those you might not have known about, so that you don't miss out on savings at tax time. Let's go. So right here it has the ability to pick out a profession. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. You may benefit from listening to all of them. So don't just jump off once you hear yours, or don't fast forward just when you hear yours. However you can. You have that option, but you may benefit and realize, oh, it's some crossover, some spillover from different professions. So the first one is actors and performance artists. So when you select that, it lists out some common self-employed expenses. Actors and performance artists. So you got self-promotion material, costumes, performance hair and makeup, manager fees, union dues, conference and classes, video equipment, photography equipment, travel, home office, mileage, and car expenses. See, when you have all of these expenses, these convert into tax deductions, and you may be spending money in these areas. Now, you may not be in this particular industry. However, you may still fit the description of some of these. Some of my favorites that are on the list is travel and mileage on the vehicle, just to name a couple. Of course, advertising and, promotional material, because that can be a host of different things. But this represents the actors and performance artists. I won't explain in detail for all of them unless you have some questions about specifics, but hopefully it all makes sense. But right now, at the time of this recording, mileage is a big one because they're going to pay 70 cents per mile that you drive that's business related. If you drive 10,000 miles in business throughout the year, that's $7,000 in the form of a tax deduction that you'll be able to get off of you just conducting business as you already were. Very important. Let's go to the next industry. Artists. Art supplies, advertising, photography equipment, studio expenses, art stands, commission fees, website development and maintenance, home office, mileage, and car. Travel can also be put in there as well, but a lot of artists deal with these items, so keep this in mind as you are claiming your deduction. Now, the key is to have some type of record keeping software. We have one that we recommend. There are tons out there that you can utilize, but record keeping is going to be key. Let's move forward. Caregivers and nannies. Caregivers and nannies, here are some of the common self-employment expenses: medical supplies, advertisement, app fees, legal fees, cleaning supplies, commission fees, mileage, uniform, cleaning bill, home office, mileage, and car expenses. So these are some things that you can consider. And when it comes to mileage and car expenses, sometimes it's better to claim mileage for some it's better to claim car expenses, and depending on which one you claim first can rule out the other one. That's where your tax professional comes in handy if you need access to some tax experts. Link in the description. Let's proceed. Construction contractors. So here's some tax deductible items. Just some of the top. Of course, there are more, but here's some of the top. Trade school, licensing and fees, uniforms and work clothes. So that's hard hats, vests, boots, protective gear, insurance, safety equipment, car and truck expenses, advertising, online or print, Tools and equipment, travel, home office, mileage, and car expenses. Now, when they say advertising, this also includes you using your cell phone to market. So that includes cell phone bills. That includes phones and things of that nature, because now we're in the digital world. A lot of advertising just happens with you pushing a couple of buttons, creating a couple of images, all from the comforts of your phone. Next industry, copywriters and bloggers, which is a lot of them. So computer, laptop, tablet, phone bill, internet, software, computer software, design software, website expenses, which is hosting, design, layout, memberships and subscriptions, website development / maintenance, travel, home office, mileage, and car expenses. Keep these records and then get with your tax professional. They'll be able to let you know how to go about doing it. But if you never track it or you never knew to track it, then you leave that money on the table. Next one up, cosmetic and personal care. This is a pretty big one because there's some people that are in this industry that do not know what they can actually claim. So advertising, website development, maintenance, supply storage, promotional giveaways, commission fees, phone and accessory, phone bill, equipment, lighting, backdrop, tripods, conference, shows, fees, travel, home office, mileage, expenses. Just some of the top. Of course, there are more, but do not miss out on these. Dog walkers and pet sitters. So poop bags, pet treats, pet toys, leashes, harnesses, phone bill, phone and accessory, rain and snow gear, walking shoes, advertising, pet beds, home office, mileage / car expenses. If you can think of things that you're spending money on that helps you move your business forward, that helps you grow your business, that helps you operate and serve whatever your industry is, then it's a good chance it's tax deductible up to 100%. Electricians. So, electrician classes, licensing fees, uniform and work clothes, insurance, safety equipment, car and truck expenses, advertising, that's online or print, tools and equipment, home office, mileage, and car expenses. As you can see, it's a lot of home office and mileage expenses associated with all of them. So if you're not taking that bare minimum, you're leaving money on the table. This is a big one. Hairdressers, stylists, and barbers. I've talked to hairstylists and barbers, and a lot of times they're making money under the table, so they think, but they're missing out on tax deduction. If you're not claiming the income, you're not being able to use the tax deductions. This is a big one. So here's some things that are common that you can write off. Rent, supplies, education and classes, uniform, licensing fees, advertising, card and bank fees. That's a big one. Phone and accessory, dues and subscription, towels and smocks, hair products, chemicals, hair tools, equipment, home office, miles, and car expenses. They didn't say anything about, well, yeah, they did, phone and accessory. So phone bills, things of that nature, because a lot of people are using that as well. That being said, let's keep going. Independent consultants and freelancers. So if you do any level of consulting work, this could be beneficial to you. Continue education. This is why it's okay to invest in a course, invest in somebody teaching you how to do something, because if it fits your industry for growth, it's 100% tax deductible. Legal fees, business cards, software, advertising, marketing material, website expenses, phone and accessory, phone bill, home office, mileage, and car expenses. Next up on the list, influencers and content creators. This is a really big one at this time. A lot of people are doing content creation, and that opens up a world of tax deductions just by being a content creator. Pretty much you can position your life to where everything you're doing ties into an ability to generate income in pursuit of a profit, which is what they need, something that's ordinary, necessary in pursuit of a profit. And now you're a content creator, and your lifestyle literally becomes tax deductible because it can position you to generate profits. So they're going to leave some off the table on this one. I know for a fact they are. But let's talk about the ones that are on the list. Phone and accessory, prizes for giveaways for those of you doing giveaways, personalized merchandise, app fees, advertising, website expenses, office supplies, electronics, conference expenses, travel, home office, mileage, and car expenses. See, they didn't even say anything about meals, because meals is a big one, because a lot of times people are recording their meals. A lot of times that generates traffic. And if you're a food content creator, that's a whole nother thing, to where everything you're doing food related is tax deductible. But if you're using these type of imagery to market your business, you position it to possibly be tax deductible. Of course, your cell phone bill and things of that nature, tax deductible. Internet, tax deductible. So these are things that I really want you to strongly consider if you're a content creator, due to the fact that it has the potential to save you a ton in taxes. Life and business coaches. So conferences, classes, office supplies, office furniture, phone bill, phone accessory, education and classes, advertising, marketing, website maintenance, home office, mileage. You still see a commonality in all of these areas because they all go hand in hand, but some areas are specific to others. But you got to think, if you know your industry well enough, you can look around and see that you circulated or spent money on something that should have been tax deductible up to 100%. I'm all about tax deductions. I love them because it allows you to do what you're going to do anyway almost and spend money on things that help you grow your business. And you get a tax deduction as a result. Makeup artists, so of course, makeup kit supplies, membership fees, makeup products, brushes, sponges, promotional goodies, phone and accessory, education and classes, licenses and fees, card and bank fees, web development, maintenance, conference expenses, home office, mileage, and car expenses. Next up, massage therapist. I got a background in massage therapy. Many people don't know that. So I know this one definitely comes with some tax deductions as well. Training and certification, oil and lotion, spa and studio rent, massage furniture, music streaming app. Interesting. Website expenses, legal fees, advertising, home office, miles, and car expenses. Because I was traveling and doing some massages as well. Had a temporary spot I would locate and operate from as well. But all of these unlock tax deduction. And if you're in the industry that's similar to these, then you can kind of, use that as a guide as well. Let's talk about models. Self-promotion material, agency commission, makeup product, brushes, sponges, coaches and classes, phone and accessory, phone bill, portfolio expenses, casting site fees, manager fees, travel, union dues, home office, mileage, and car expenses for models. Now let's talk about musicians and bands. I've educated people on how, as a musician, as an artist, as a rapper, make sure you're taking advantage of those tax deductions. Musical instrument and carrying case, editing software, microphone, advertising, streaming services, commission fees, subscription and membership, recording studio fees, home office, mileage, and car expenses. Pretty big deal that opens up some opportunity. Let's talk about the nail techs and those who do manicures, licensing and fees, advertising, uniform, supplies, which is nail polish, decor, nail clippers, nail filers, carrying case, education and classes, rent, card and bank fees, phone and accessory, dues and subscription, web development and maintenance, home office, and mileage, car expenses. Next up on the list, online merchants. This is a big one for those of you who are selling on Etsy, Amazon, eBay, Shopify. This is considered being an online merchant. So let's talk about it. Advertising, shipping and packaging fees, merchant service fees, website expenses, commissions paid if you're paying out because you do affiliates and things of that nature, email software, material and supplies, photography expenses, electronics, equipment, scanner, scales, shipping labels, home office, and mileage and car expenses. That's a big one. Hopefully y'all take advantage of that one. Package and food delivery drivers. This is another big one. Phone bill, phone and accessory, courier and hot bags, commission fees, uniform and merchandise, parking and tolls, gas, car maintenance, home office, mileage, and car expenses. Make sure you're tracking these expenses because it can pay you in deductions. Personal trainer and fitness consultant, exercise equipment, advertising, certification and education, conference, workshops, classes, professional fees, phone and accessory, memberships, marketing, supplements, and shakes for clients. Or you being a product of the product and, you buying and having to pay for supplements and shakes to maintain your physique. That's a whole nother thing. Website development, maintenance, home office, mileage, and car expenses. Listen, receipts equal cash, but only if you track them. Photography and videography. This is another big one during this time. Photography equipment, lights, backdrop, tripod, stands, carrying cases, editing software, advertising, electronics, computer, laptops, tablets, all of the above, including your phone. Studio expenses, data storage, business cards, phone and accessory, video equipment, stock photo and video platforms, travel, home office, mileage, and car expenses all across the board. Let's talk about plumbers and handymen. Some of the men that help keep things functioning. That's, a lot of times looked down upon, but why would it be? People need these services. So let's go. Plumbing classes, licensing and fees, uniform and work clothes, hard hats, vests, boots, protective gear, insurance, safety equipment, car and truck expenses, advertising, online or print, tools and equipment, home office, mile and car expenses. You pretty much know I'm going to say that at the end of every one. Let's talk about private tutors. If you're a private tutor, guess what? Tax deductible. Electronics, phone and accessory, phone bill, education supplies, student rewards, internet bill, chalk and whiteboards, PPE, which is personal protective equipment, home office, mileage, and car expenses. Let's keep going. Production assistance. So let's see what production assistants can write off. Equipment, production materials, travel expenses, production costs, decor and staging, furniture, commission fees, website development, maintenance, home office, mileage, and car expenses. Next up, realtors and real estate brokers. Coming from a fellow realtor as well, I know there are tax deductions associated with this, which is important due to the fact that there are a lot of fees associated with being a realtor in many cases that many people don't realize. So licensing and membership fees, education and training, property marketing, commissions paid, desk fees, office supplies, phone bill, phone and accessory, home staging and decor fees, client fees, gifts, home office, mileage, and car expenses. Next up, let's talk about rideshare drivers, Uber and Lyft. It should be some spillover, but let's talk about it. Car wash and cleaning, phone and accessories, passenger goodies, car maintenance, insurance and registration, parking and tolls, gas, mileage, and car expenses. Next up, roofers and roofing repair, roofing classes, licensing and fees, uniform and work clothes, insurance, safety equipment, cars and truck expenses, advertising, tools and equipment, home office, mileage, and car expenses. Let's wrap this thing up. Web and graphic designers. So you got software, advertising, marketing material, electronics, data storage, phone and accessory, classes, conferences, website development / maintenance, travel, home office, and mileage and car expenses. Gotta love it. It's hundreds of tax deductions that are available depending on your industry. It's a matter of how you go about providing your services and understanding how to track these so you can write these off year after year after year. Wedding and event planning. So you got phone and accessories, event location costs, website expenses, advertising, marketing materials, contracted labor, employees and services. So this would be you paying for florists, balloon artists, service, bartenders, tax deductibles, subscription and memberships, wedding expos and conferences, event rental equipment, so decor, furniture, tables, plates, chairs, all of that, tax deductible, travel and meals related to your business. And that wasn't on a lot of them, but it's a lot of travel and meals that you can be writing off as it relates to your business and other categories as well. Home office, and last but certainly not least, mileage / car expenses. Let's talk about the last one, yoga and wellness instructors, which is a lot of these popping up in different platforms, YouTube, etc. You get tax deduction as well. Let's talk about rent if you have studio supplies, certification fees, professional membership, music and music subscriptions, insurance, aromatherapy, oils and supplements, classes, workshops, advertising, home office, mileage, and car expenses. So I wanted to go through this so you can ask or answer the question, what expenses can I deduct or write off as a 1099 contractor or freelancer? Now you know, and this is just a handful. There are several different tax deductions available. A book that I used to recommend every single year is Lawyer Taxes Big Time by Sandy Botkins. It usually gets an updated release every single year. Pay Zero in Taxes is another book. And it shows you how to do things legally, ethically, and you can do it as an individual if you're a sole proprietor. But it's all about the record keeping and partnering with a tax professional that's not afraid to utilize the tax code in a way that can benefit you, but doing it all legally, ethically, and morally. If you need access to some tax experts, link in the description. Mr. Smith, signing out. Salute.